What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So this is an idea that I've had for a while that I thought might be kind of interesting. I'm going to take the dual hub motor bike out for a spin. We're going to go ride it around and we're going to compare different power levels. And so what I mean by testing the power levels is first I'm going to ride the bike around at say 250 watts and I'll kind of just ride a short length and we'll see how fast can we get going with 250 watts, how fast are we get going on like flat. There's going to be a little bit of a hill and we'll just kind of cruise around at different power levels and see how that feels, see how fast we can get going, stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to come up into my cycle analyst and I can change the power level on my cycle analyst. So I'm just going to change it down to 250 watts and I'll back out, leaving setup so we save those changes. Alright, so the first test we're going to do is 250 watts and then I'll probably do 250, 500, 750, 1000, and then maybe I'll skip up to like 1500, 2000, 2500, 3000, and we'll kind of compare the different power levels and see what happens. And so I'm on a 72 volt battery. It's basically a full charge. So I'm going to get out onto the road and let's get riding. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so we're going to start out here by the stop sign. Just going to turn around. So this is 250 watts. We're going on a bit of a incline right here. We're going 8 miles an hour, 9, 10. So now we're going kind of down a hill. So obviously you can get going a lot faster downhill with the same amount of power. So 14, 15. $22, $21, $20. Kind of maintaining 20. So I would say this is pretty flat right here. We're going about 19 miles an hour. 18. We're starting to go uphill. 17. 16. 14. 13. All right, so I'm gonna turn around right here at this blue mailbox with the birds on it. I'll just go back this way. 250 watts, 11, 12, 13, 14. So again, I would say right here is pretty much flat. We're going about 16 miles an hour on flat with 250 watts. 15.5. All right. So here's 250 watts up this hill that we started on, and I don't think it's going to be able to do it. So, I mean, they're totally bogging out. If I pedal, we're going 5-6 miles an hour, and the pedaling helps out a lot. Like these hub motors, the geared hub motors, they can only do so much of an incline, and then you got to kind of help pedaling. So we're going 8 miles an hour, 9. Okay, so that was 250 watts. Not very exciting. Pretty slow. I wasn't pedaling. If you were pedaling with 250 watts, that would help out a lot, because 250 watts is kind of like, that kind of feels like about what I would do with my pedaling power, is about that much. I couldn't do that all day, but I mean, it's easy enough for me to do that. So now let's change this. We'll change the power limit to 500 watts. Okay, save that. All right, here we go. 500 watts. It doesn't feel a whole lot faster going up right here. We're going 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now this is the part where 500 is going to be faster. $25. So we're going about 24 miles an hour with 500 watts on flat. $22, $20, $19. Alright, so here's 500 watts going back. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we're going about 20, 21. So about 21 on flat with 500. So here's 500 watts up this hill. See if we can do it. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. But it could do it. I didn't have to help. So you can see the difference between 250 and 500 watts. You know, it's about, I would say probably like 10 miles an hour. I'd have to go back and check, but I could definitely notice like 500 watts getting up that hill. That was like the determining factor. So I would say if you want your e-bike to help you up any kind of a hill, like you're probably going to want a good 500 watts at least. 250 watts can kind of help you up the hill, but like 500 watts could bring me up the hill without any help. What's the difference there? So now let's go up to 750. So 750 watts. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we'll probably be able to get to go about 30 miles an hour down here. Let's see. Going about 26, 27. So that was 750 watts. Here we go back. So my speed's right here and the power's right here. 22, 23, 24. $18, $17. So we got up the hill about 17 miles an hour with 750 watts. Hopefully you can see this with the camera. I don't know. All right, so now let's change the power limit to 1,000. Okay, can't seem to do a burnout with 1,000. 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm not going to be able to go full throttle down this hill. It's just too tight of a corner. So I'm just going to coast down it. $28, $29. So that was 1,000. 1,000 is kind of where it feels like the bike kind of starts to pull out from under me when you give it the juice. It's a good amount. 25, 26, 27. Oh, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. So 1,000 watts got up that hill like 20 miles an hour was the lowest that I saw it go. So now let's change it. I think I'm gonna go from 1,000 watts up to 1,500. I don't really care about 1250. So we're gonna do 1,500 watts now. So 1,500 watts, if you have a 1,000 watt nominal motor, like a BB SHD, then the peak watts on that is probably about 1,500 watts. So that's about what we're doing now with 1,500 watts. So let's see what 1,500 watts is like. Now this is more like 18, 19, 20, like we're scooting. Now we're scooting. 25, 26, got a let off here. 27. 33. Okay. So that's 1,500. And that to me is kind of like, that's what I want. That's how much I use, like on average most of the time probably when I'm cruising around. So we're going a good 30, 31, 32. I can't give it full throttle up this hill, I might slip out. So 26, 25, 24, 23. So 1,500 watts got up that hill 23 miles an hour. Let's change it to 2,000. Max power is set to 2,000 watts. So this is where we're gonna be able to do a burnout. Yep. So now each of my motors is getting 1,000 watts. We're doing 2,000 watts total. I'm just gonna coast down this hill because I can't go 2,000 watts down the hill. I'm gonna hurt myself. So I saw it going like 36, 37 miles an hour with 2,000. Okay, so 2,000 watts, got up that hill, 26, it looked like about 26.4 miles an hour. Let's change it to 2,500. All right, so here's 2,500. Each one is getting 1,250, if I can do math right now. All right, I saw 39. So we went from like 36 to 39. You're still going about 26 miles an hour up the hill. So that was 2,500. Okay, so now we're doing 3,000 watts. Each one of my motors is getting 1,500 watts. So 3,000 watts, here we go. It's gonna coast down this hill. I saw 42. Whoa! Just trying to brake gently there so I don't like bend my brake rotor. All right, let's go up to 3,500. All right, 3,500 watts. So each one is getting what, 1,750? So I saw 44. $3,500 watts basically accelerates up the hill. So I was going like 30 miles an hour, accelerating up that hill. All right, so here's 4,000 watts. I saw about 46. I think that's kind of where my this setup top spins out, is at about 46 miles an hour is about the top speed. So as you can see, like, you don't even really need to use 4,000 watts in most circumstances to reach the top speed that the motors are capable of. So it, like, unless you're going up a hill or something and you want to go extremely fast up the hill, it might not be worth doing that much power, right? If you're already going your top speed. So let's do 4,000 watts back this way. And I can't go full speed up that hill or I'm gonna crash, so I'm just gonna go as fast as possible. Oh. So, yeah guys, I'm not sure what happened there, where the GoPro cut out, but on 4,000 watts, I got up the hill, accelerating up the whole thing, and I was going like 35 miles an hour by the time I got to the top of the hill. So that was kind of an example of different power levels on my e-bike. Now this is kind of a slightly unique setup where we've got dual hubs, and that total amount of power, those watts, were being divided equally between these two hub motors. But generally speaking, that's kind of what you can expect with an e-bike. I would say this thing probably weighs like 80 something pounds. Last time I weighed it, I had some tools on it, so I think this bike probably is somewhere in like the 80-pound range, maybe a little bit lighter. But yeah, so I hope that was kind of interesting. It's going to be interesting to edit that, and kind of, I'll put up on the screen like maybe like some kind of like a chart or something, so we can look at the results of the different speeds and everything at the different power levels. But yeah, so I hope that was kind of interesting. I gotta go back and take some rice out of the pressure cooker. But yeah, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, subscribe. Let me know if you guys have any other ideas for short little like videos that might be kind of interesting about e-bikes or whatever. And I'll see you guys next time.